Yes, indeed. Just needed to make sure that my technicals were in order. You know, it's something about when you're having radio royalty back on your show after such a long time. You know, my guests, oh God, I was praying, just coming back on the night show. I'm like, hey, God, I hope Coach Mayzy still has my time. It's been such a long time. I hope he hasn't moved on. I hope he hasn't found somebody else. Just teasing though, but hello, Coach Mayzy. Good evening.
Good evening to you.
It has been forever. Forever. Yes.
Yeah.
Tell me the truth. Do you hold anything against me? You know we are guys, we can talk about this thing. Am I owing you anything from my long time away from us doing this together? Just tell me. Let me know right now.
If you didn't ask, I wouldn't even have thought about it.
Yeah. So let's keep it there. Let's keep it there. Just don't think about it still.
But now that you brought it up,
no, come on. Just feign ignorance. You didn't hear me. It's good to have you here, Coach Mayzy. Happy New Year again.
Thank you.
Yes. The listeners, some people have sent me messages asking, oh, when are we having Coach Mayzy back on? And I'm like, you should just calm down, very, very soon. And I'm glad to say that very soon has finally arrived. Good to have you here, boss.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
So just in case you're tuning in for the first time, I need you to understand who Coach Mayzy is. He is a marriage and relationship coach and counselor. And he wears a number of other caps. He's so when you talk about certified matchmaking, Coach Mayzy will give you all the ins and outs about who it is that you should be ending up with. And just before we went on that hiatus, so just went away for a bit, we started on a very interesting conversation about self-awareness. Some of the major things you need to do to fix yourself first and foremost before you're going into a relationship. And at some point, we're going to come back to that, but it would depend largely on the messages that are coming in, because like today alone, we have 2 messages that came in that people want Coach Mayzy specifically to get into. I'm going to be doing it alongside him. And so, we're going to take it from that approach, where people have issues they want resolved. We would make sure that they get on the couch and we deal with it first. And then somewhere along the line, we go back to advising and counseling and all of that. So let's get straight into the conversation for today. Yes, Coach?
Yes, please. Let's do that.
Let's do that. All right. Remember, we are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. Go to Nigeria Info Abuja so that you can engage properly. You can also drop your questions, your comments, especially on Facebook, and we'll be sure to attend to them. Now, this story, or rather this message came in. I called it a story. This message came in. There's 2 of them we're going to be dealing with in the hour and maybe 15 minutes that we have. So we'd like to cover it from all bases. The first one, my boyfriend of over a year is keeping his relationship with me a secret from his ex-wife and mother of his children. We went on holiday for Christmas last year with his children. That's the lady in question, her boyfriend, and his children, which he had with his ex-wife, right? He said, and this ex-wife kept calling and asking not about the children, but about him, asking him for pictures, asking him how he was doing. And while he was just going on and chatting with her, he never once mentioned that he was with me. He never brought me up. And this is somebody that I've been dating for a year now. She says, I'm wondering why he hasn't mentioned me to her. I love him so much, but should I be worried? Please advise. That's the first one. Now, Coach, should I drop the second one, or do we take this one first and then we go into the second one? The second one is from a guy. Yeah.
Okay, let's hear the second one and then we'll come back to this one.
Okay, fantastic. So the second one, sent in by Anonymous still. I was dating this lady for 3 years. until my financial situation took a turn for the worse and she left me. I'm conflicted because we had something so special and I haven't found anything like that since she left. Now I'm doing well. She wants to come back into my life. Should I take her back? I am afraid of missing out on the love of my life. Please advise. Now, this is the part where I do gun because I think these two issues are quite heavy for the lady who is in a relationship with a divorcee who is keeping her a secret, and then the second one, a man who has a woman who dumped him when he was down and under and wants to come back into his life now. But I open the floor to our coach to get us in on the conversation.
All right.
Let's talk, Coach Mayzy.
Yeah, thank you very much for bringing me in again on these conversations. These are very important conversations. These are life impacting and life changing issues. So I particularly love it when people are bold enough to ask questions and vulnerable enough to ask questions about the issues in their relationships.
Okay.
I'm hoping that the people who sent in these questions are listening.
Let's hope so.
There's some part of my response that will be rhetorical questions to them. All right. And then some part will just be general comments that they could learn one or two things from. All right, so let me go back to this first question.
Could you speak up a little bit more, Coach? Getting feedback that your voice is a bit low. Okay, go ahead.
Oh my, sorry about that. I was just on chill mode.
All right then.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's
all right,
fine.
So please, thank you for pointing that out. Okay, so let's go back to the first question. The lady, right? She's dated this guy for about a year. Or was it over a year?
About a year now.
And he's keeping her secret from his ex-wife. I have a number of questions. On what basis did they get into the relationship in the first place? All right.
What does that mean? On what basis?
Yes, a lot of people stumble into relationships. I'll explain all of this, right?
Okay.
By stumbling, I mean it was never from the beginning an intentional venture by the two people involved. So, yes. Oh, yes. So, boy sees girl, likes her, girl sees boy, thinks he's cool. They feel attracted to each other. They start getting a little bit cozy with each other. They start discussing, start hanging out, and jump so many stages and just start getting romantically involved. And then it's cool for both of them, so they just carry on. You see? So when I say on what basis, it now makes you want to take it back to the beginning and say, really, how did we start this thing? Was there any conversation? Was there an asking out at all? Or did we were just neighbors, we were just friends, we just liked each other, we just vibed together, and then we started kissing, and then one day she says, what are we now? And then, of course, he doesn't want to let go of this access he has now, and then he just tells you you're very special to him. Now I'm speaking generally here. I'm not saying that's what played out in the case, right? So that's expanding what I mean by on what basis. How did that relationship start in the first place? All right. And this is very important because if a man wants you and goes after you, he should be able to communicate to you why he's coming after you.
Like from the beginning, or at what point? Because I don't know that men are that forthright from the get-go.
If they are not forthright from the get-go, then the lady in question who is being asked out by a guy or who is being hovered around by a guy, all right? So maybe he's not saying anything. He's just there buying you stuff, checking up on you. Did you sleep well? How are you doing this morning? I thought of you last night. Calling you up in the wee hours of the night, and you guys talking for hours, and then he's not really saying anything, and you're just there enjoying and taking it all in. You see, these are things that happen a lot, but it doesn't make them right, because they are the things that ultimately build up to relationships that are baseless, relationships that have no authentic origin or basis. All right. So that's what I mean by, how did you get into this relationship? Is it even defined? Did he tell you he wanted to get married to you at some point? Or did he tell you he just enjoyed spending time with you? You're really cool.
I mean, don't men run away from that at the beginning, early days, when a woman is like, oh, okay, what are we doing here? Don't men run away from that? I heard it's a dreaded, question.
Men actually don't like that. But you see, it's men who don't want seriousness with you.
That don't like that.
Oh, I don't like that. Yes.
So the fact that he's keeping her a secret, are you saying it's because the relationship didn't have a genuine long-term base on which it was built on in the first place?
It's a possibility.
Okay. You said you had other rhetorical questions. Maybe let's touch on those ones as well, and we'll come back.
So just drawing from that first point I made, when a man truly wants a woman, he's not confused about it. Let me say that again for the benefit of those listening.
In the back.
When a man truly wants a woman, he is not confused about what he wants. If a man wants to marry a woman, there have been several people in his life. He has narrowed it down. He has said, okay, it is now this one. Come on now. He goes after her with everything he has, and he actually makes it clear to her that he wants her. You would know it.
Coach Mayzy, could it be that perhaps the fact that he's in a co-parenting situation with his ex-wife, he's maybe trying to preserve that civility, if you will, between him and his ex-wife? That's why he's trying not to maybe hurt her with the information that he's seeing someone new. I'm trying to think about it from the man's point of view now. Is that a possibility?
I was going to come there, but again, you see that comes back to the basis of this relationship. What are you really in his life? Are you the one he just calms down with and passes time with, or does he have any meaningful plan for you? All right, those are some of the rhetorical questions. You said she's his ex-wife. Who told you? Are you sure? Have you seen divorce papers?
Did he just another angle?
Oh yeah,
another angle. Even it just hit me.
How do you know? How do you know she's really his ex-wife? How do you know they're not just having some issues and apart from each other? How do you know she's not just out in another country on work or study reasons? Do you understand? How do you really know? Because according to you, she's checking up on him and not even really talking about the children. She's concerned about him. How are you doing? What's going on? Hope you're having fun. Are you fine? She's checking up on him. And you say she's ex-wife.
I just got the chills thinking about that. You hit the nail on the head, sir. Okay, continue.
You understand it? So these are some of the questions, like I said, they're rhetorical because she's not here to really provide the answers, but I want her to ponder on these things, right? Did he officially end the first marriage? A lot of people tell you, yes, the marriage is over. Some of them have not even started the court processes or the court process that will see to determination of that marriage or dissolution or annulment, as the case may be. Or some, maybe if it was traditionally or customarily contracted, some have not even necessarily gone through the process of putting an end to the marriage. So those are the things you want to find out. Have you officially ended that relationship? If you have, then why can't you talk about your new relationship with her? Now, this is another question. Is she the only one he's keeping you secret from? Or is he keeping you secret generally from everybody?
Oh, yes. So apparently there's a little more context to that. Maybe that might help you advise her. Apparently he's not a picture guy. He doesn't post pictures on his status and all of that. Coach Mayzy, that laughter was evil.
It's not a new. This thing is not a new.
It's not a new thing.
I don't know how many guys. A lot of guys are not picture people. Are not posting people. Are not people who want to generally go and post their relationship out there and say, "Hey, see my girl." No. So I'm not talking social media posts. Are the important people in his life aware that you are in his life? His real guys. Who are you to his real guys? Maybe you want to even find out. His best friends, do they even know you? Do they know you exist?
Aren't they the ones that always do the our wife, when they know the true situation of things between their guy and...
what do they know about her? Those are the questions I'm asking. All right. Can she say that his close friends know her as the one he wants to marry next? Or they just know her as that girl he's dating? You see, if I have enough time, maybe after I answer the second question, we'll talk a little bit about dating. Or if we can take it now, then push it to the next conversation.
Okay.
Because if they know that, if for example, her ID is the one he is dating, then what? there is no commitment expected from that. It is a pastime thing. I'm sorry to say. If it's just dating, for what dating is in the world system, it's a pastime thing, and
so she should not have any expectations of him per se.
You don't have any expectation, no. If so long as you people are gratifying yourselves and satisfying yourselves in what matters to you at that time, don't have any other further serious expectation. Yes. To
the average African woman, because I mean, you said something which is key. You said if it is dating as we see it, in the sense that it is these days, that's a whole other conversation we need to be having, because are people really dating for the right reasons, or has it just become this thing that people use to just, go around the room kind of thing? So if a woman, I want to believe that if the right thinking, that's a hard one to say, but if the average Nigerian or African woman is with you for a year, she's probably cooking your food, and doing a whole lot of things that one would consider to be very, very committal to the point that they would expect a more serious take on the relationship, whether it's via marriage or even just knowing that they are your own, right? Yeah. And so having said that, if you're looking at dating these days, you want to look at who is the person doing the dating and what are they expecting from it. It would be hard to say not that they shouldn't have expectations of the man in question.
All right. Yeah. So, did I cut you off or?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I stand.
Okay, good. Yeah. So that was a very good point you made there, that it will be hard to say she shouldn't have expectations. The issue there is that her expectations, the typical African woman expectations, who is providing all of these services upfront.
Upfront.
Those expectations that later he will take you serious. It's a very faulty expectation. It's an unrealistic expectation.
Especially if the basis of the relationship wasn't established from the get-go?
Exactly. If it wasn't established from the get-go, and then even if it was established, but you were already supplying the full privileges of a wife, he doesn't want you for any more thing than you already are right now to him.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
He doesn't want any more. You're giving him everything he wants already. So it's now you who is suffering because you're waiting for him to, as it were, provide that security that you want for the relationship and for yourself. But you've served him everything he wants. So he's not in a hurry to do that.
And he's busy there keeping you a secret. We have to go on a quick break, but I'll just say this before we go on the break. I saw a similar story, somebody who said, in this particular instance, she was delivering on all the goods, and her man had even met her pastor, met her family members, and somebody asked her a question: who on his side have you met? And she was numb. She was mum. But we'll come back to that after the break, Coach Mayzy. Please stay with us.
All right. Yes.
Make you enjoy the sweet waka with Teasers flavor go carry you go. With every sip, na celebration of taste. Enjoy Teasers apple flavor. It dey refreshing, crisp garden freshness inside every drop. Teasers orange flavor encore, that one na pure bliss. It be like sunshine inside bottle. And Teasers lime and lemon flavor, this combo na elele. Better cruise for every sip. See no matter how your mood be, collect one bottle of Teasers. Now, so wetin you dey wait for? Grab your own Teasers today. Make the fun begin. Enjoy am responsibly. Teasers na for people wey don reach 18 years and above. Teasers, the fun no dey finish.
Welcome back to your number one talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
And we are back on the couch. This is where you get comfortable. First and foremost, just get comfortable. You might be coming with a whole lot of baggage. You might be coming with a whole lot of stress from the man or the woman in your life that is stressing you out. But first and foremost, get on the couch, get comfortable. Let's hear what's on your mind. And then Coach Mayzy, our counselor, marriage coach and relationship coach, will do justice, just as he has started already. 2 stories on the table today. One of them, a woman who has been dating a man for about a year, and he told her he has an ex-wife. I mean, I have to say it this way now because Coach Mayzy just opened my eye to that possibility. He told her he has an ex-wife, and then she went on holiday with this man and his children. Of course, the ex-wife is the mother of his children. Went on holiday with this man and his children, and she just noticed that this woman was asking about him, telling him, send me pictures now, let me see what's going on with you. And he did all of that, but managed to keep it quiet that he was there with somebody else. Of course, at some point, if children are children, their mother is going to hear about it at some point. So, which brings me to the part where I was like, okay, the man was trying to protect his ex-wife, kind of like give her a soft landing, then that probably might have been the reason. But that's for the man and his ex-wife. This lady in question now is saying, should I be worried? And Coach Mayzy has addressed some of the issues. Let's see if we can touch on the second story, and then we'll come back to this lady. Of course, we're going to open up the phone lines shortly for you to get in on it. But the second story, I'm just going to read it out again very quickly. The young man sent in a message, says, I was dating this lady for 3 years until my financial situation took a turn for the worse and she left me. Now I'm doing very well and she wants to come back into my life. I am conflicted because we had something special and I haven't met anyone like her. I've not found anything like what I had with her since she left. Should I take her back? I don't want to miss out on the love of my life. Coach Mayzy, over to you.
Okay, this one seems somewhat straightforward, but
okay.
I ask a lot of questions.
Please.
All right, so yeah, so when you say she left you when your financial situation took a turn for the worse, I'm asking you, you just have to be sure that that was why she left you. Are there other things you're not saying? All right, are there other things you're not telling us? How was the relationship between you guys really? All right, were there genuine circumstances under which she had to leave? We need to know that. But until we confirm that, let's take it at what he says. So if she really left you when things went bad with you, my question is, does it not suggest to you what she's really in for? All right, does it not suggest to you that she's more committed to the comfort and the promise of a good life that you bring to her, not necessarily to you, right? And that is something some people need to learn. That there are some people who love the idea of love. They love relationship. Any human being who happens to be available at that time is just an object of their love for relation. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. There are people who just love the idea of being in a relationship because of what it supplies, irrespective of who is the person being used to supply that need to them. All right. So it's possible that, hey, guy, you're not, she doesn't really care about you like that. She probably cares about what you could do for her at the time, the prestige, the gifts, the life. And when that wasn't forthcoming, well, she had to be true to herself and leave you, right? Now, my concern is not her, my concern is you.
Especially because he said she hasn't found anything like her since she left. So, I mean.
So you see, a lot of people get into love and relationship from a place of trauma, from a place of hurt, from a place where they are not whole with themselves. So they're not able to identify what they truly, really want. All right. That's a conversation again for another day. But I just thought to mention that because if you're whole in yourself and you have a clear sense of direction and vision you're working with for your life, and you know the kind of lady you would want to do life with you on that kind of journey, and then you have this one who was in while it was good and then left when it got tough, and then you still say you have difficulty finding any other person. I feel like it tells me that what it tells me is that you're more about the emotional experiences than any other thing.
Emotional?
Yes.
I mean, what is a relationship without emotional experiences?
Yeah, but if you're so you see again, let me refer to what I started the first question with. What again was the basis for that relationship? You see, we're coming back to that thing. Because if he was with this woman because he wanted to marry her, and then she has shown him that she would only stay with him when the times are good, the question is, do you want to do life with this kind of person who would most likely leave again if the conditions change and it's not what she wants? All right? Are you willing to do life with this person? But where people get into dating, you see why we're coming back to this dating thing again, without very clear intentions, just passing time, just supplying their emotional needs. You want someone to talk to, you want someone to cuddle, you want someone to be there for you, you just want to have a special person, right? When that is the reason you're getting into the relationship, then there's a challenge because anything can make them wake up and leave. And then when you want to marry, I feel like your lenses are more focused. You know exactly what you're looking for. All right. You wouldn't just be looking for someone who's in for the short term. You'll be looking more for the long term. So the kind of conversations you'll be having with a lady will not bother just around emotions and sensual gratifications. You would want to see somebody who connects with the future that you already see in your mind. And when you find that person, you would build every other thing around that. You see, so when you say you're finding it hard to move on, I think what you're describing is whatever it was that she supplied to you emotionally, right? But if it is
or physically, perhaps it was the sex.
Yeah, physically and emotionally, yeah, right? But if it is marriage you're thinking about, then you would know that there is a whole lot more than just the physical and emotional